Or any questions from online, Venerable Anikunsala?
Geshe. Geshe.
Oh, it's on the chat. See.
Geshe, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Geshe.
Thank you.
Talk this morning. Being a Hindu, I do see a lot of similarities between Buddhism and Hinduism.
Yes.
So what I'm gathering is, what my understanding is, to take refuge and so on. So is it necessary that, how does it work? I don't know. I kind of feel like
if you have refuge in the religious tradition that you are already in, then you don't need to take refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, because you already have refuge in that culture, that tradition. And yeah, you just but it's still beneficial to learn Buddhist teaching. There are a lot of other perspectives that which can be beneficial to enhance your own the origin tradition, the religious practice, like in relation to practice of compassion, practice of wisdom. Yeah, so as long as you stay open-minded and your the spiritual faith, very much plays onto your own the existing tradition and the refuge in that. But then the tools of wisdoms and development of attitudes, there's so many benefits that you can supplement. Yeah. But then again, like in Buddhist tradition alone, within the Buddhist tradition itself, there are many schools, there are many traditions, there are many lineages. This morning, I was briefly talking about, three capable beings path: small capable being, middle capable being, high capable being. You may have noticed that tradition of Hinayana tradition, Mahayana tradition, Vajrayana traditions. So they are, all of them are Buddhist practitioners. All of them defined as a Buddhist because of they have refuge in Buddha Shakyamuni and Dharma Sangha. And the tradition from the Hinayana, they still have room to expand, their trainings by engaging into the Mahayanic teaching. So when we engage in the Mahayanic teaching, the common refuge now they're supplemented by Mahayanic refuge. The same observable refuge, Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Now the intention become extended. You take refuge for your own liberation. Now you want to take refuge for the benefit of entire numberless sentient beings. So, but that didn't make lose your initial tradition, because initial tradition in fact served as a foundation, and it brings immense of benefit for your progress. But at the same time, stay open-minded so that you can also add on more trainings, more practices. Then those of the common practice of the Bodhisattva level and the Hinayana level, they also still have a room to improve. Again, on the basis of their own, preservation of their own initial religious culture intact, then they supplement by tantric practices, Vajrayana practices. So similarly, your tradition, start with Hindu, and all those trainings, all those practices, you can take that as a very firm starting point. Then whatever teachings that benefits you from the Buddhist teachings, you can supplement to them. It will supplement to each other. It will make everything better. So that's one thing. But when it comes to taking refuge, as I mentioned before, refuge in relation to worldly concern, refuge in relation to religious practice, and religious practice, there's a theistic religious practice of refuge and non-theistic religious practice of refuge. So theistic religious practice of refuge is that there's an ultimate figure as a creator, that which is God, which is merciful, which is permanent, which is ultimate. Now, if you want to take refuge in Buddhism, it go totally other way. So that two things cannot go together. It's not because of the what you call the practice of wisdom and attitude. There's a difference. There's practice of attitude and wisdom are the foundations are same. The purpose is all for achieving genuine happiness, higher wisdoms, higher qualities, become better person, etc. etc. All same. Compassion is universal. Love is universal. Beneficial wisdoms are universal. Now, for any tasty religious practitioner, one thing that they don't emphasize is the include a tasty religion practitioner, as well as even in Buddhist, the Hinayana tradition, they don't emphasize the teachings on bodhicitta. They emphasize compassion, but compassion, and they also call great compassion, but not a boundless compassion. The compassion from the Mahayanic teaching point of view, the bodhicitta's practice point of view, every single sentient being is an object of your compassion, your love. But certain religion, let's say, only human beings are object of your compassion, not the animals. A certain religion, human being and certain animals, but then certain animals are not. It is great compassion because you go beyond, compassion for self, compassion for your loved one. You develop compassion for whole humanity, which is great. And even beyond that, even to some animals, which is great. But still there's a boundary. Maybe you have compassion for cow, but you have no compassion for pigs. You may have compassion for cows and pigs, but you have no compassion for goats and chickens. So they're all sort of out there, and it is individual choice. But if you aspire that compassion is needed for entire sentient being, including to the harm givers, no question about strangers, and human and strangers and loved one, and no question about seen sentient beings, but also those unseen, even the spirits, even the macro, many micro bacteria. So as long as a sentient, then they are object of compassion. Then so far, beside the Mahayanic teaching, you don't really see any scripture, any religious scripture, talks about it. I mean, I didn't study everything, but at least the core teaching, I study Bible. I read Bible, not really taught study, but I read whole Bible. And even in our monastery environment, the Ramayana, the Hindu script. Then there are some other scripts. But when we study philosophy, we are exposed in order to see what are the differences. We have to study. Then, but not extensive. But then sometimes it's so interesting, so we go deeper, our own research. So in my limited research so far, the idea of boundless love, boundless compassion, and altruistic bodhicitta kind of way of the quality. I didn't accept Bodhisattvayana teaching. I didn't see. That's within my limited research. Even though ultimately the goal could be all for that altruistic level, but the approach, even in Buddhist, as mentioned, the Hinayana Buddhist tradition, here a solitary realizer called the individual liberation path. The path of individual liberation means path of Buddha Dharma for your liberation, and it's okay. And in Buddhist understanding, ultimately, every single sentient being, no question about those religious practitioners, whichever religious tradition you may become from, will attain Buddhahood. One day will develop altruism. So now here, when talking about taking refuge, of course, it's kind of commitment. You want to take every responsibility by yourself, or you want to still kind of place the responsibility on someone else out there, the creator. So these two is big difference. Because if you take both, then it's contradictory. Ultimate purpose may not be contradictory, but for a human mind, it's contradictory. So if we want to train, it clashes. So therefore, from Buddhist teaching point of view, in order to practice Buddha Dharma, you don't have to take refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. You can still practice Buddhist teaching. So that's which other many religions won't able to weren't able to talk about this. Buddhist teaching openly.
But don't you need to take refuge for?
That's why, in order to become Buddha, also you don't even take to, eventually you will, but when you practice, the practice is reached to a maturity, you will be mature to take refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. But in order to reach there, not necessarily you need to take refuge. And by taking refuge also, it doesn't solve all the problems. That's why, as mentioned before, the minimum benefit taking refuge is immediate rebirth. You will be protected being born in three laudanums. Will create at least good causes to be born in higher rebirths. But then that time, during those preparable time, if you didn't manage to gather all the virtue necessary to gather, purify all the negativities needed to purify, then the protection is finished. So you may again go back. That's why the refuge precept is one lifetime refuge precept. But there's a benefit also to the title, the refuge as a foundation for greater protections. When you have refuge, there's another precept which briefly talked about this morning, is the Bodhisattva precepts. Bodhisattva precept is not one lifetime precepts, forever precepts, forever, entire existence until achieve Buddhahood, until even achieve entire sentient being in the state of Buddhahood, not only yourself. But refuge is only one lifetime. So, but Bodhisattva precept we are able to obtain in our spiritual continue when you have the refuge. When you have the refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, then you have the basis to take the Bodhisattva vow. So that's why Bodhisattva refuge vow serve as a foundation to take all the higher precepts. So when we may be not ready yet now to take refuge vows, but you may have so much interest and also meritorious wise that you feel so good about whenever talks about great compassion, learn about the characteristic of bodhicitta, the bodhisattvas, like your heart get warm. And the more you learn that, and that also lead you to a maturity one day. Oh, I'm ready. That doesn't mean you offense the God. That doesn't mean you offense your refuge. In fact, the God being merciful, and God is really the ultimate, and God's children is now improving herself greater and greater. God will be only happy. There's no offense at all. You are not actually kind of letting go of the refuge of the refuge into the God, but in fact you see even greater meaning what means refuge, which actually set foundation in you when you have refuge in the God. So now you take refuge in Buddha because that brings greater purpose of the God's being in your life. Because ultimate quality of the God or any sentient being, not just God, even we talk about this morning, ultimate quality of you, me, ultimate being of we ordinary people are also Buddha. And why not God? So if, very much out there, all the limitations are created by we human beings. The limitations are created by our limited words, limited concepts, and that kind of like put us into a different small boxes, different religion, etc., different beliefs, you see. But when we really know about what Buddha is, what Dharma is, it's like all the wisdom that reach to every knowledge. And when we talk about qualities of the Buddha, ultimately the highest qualities of the God that human define is actually more than what we can define. In fact, it's the omniscient qualities. So what it means merciful, but human being already can give a very limited definition or interpretation about what it means ultimate, what it means merciful. And from my point of view, and from Buddhist teaching that which influenced me, from Buddhist teaching point of view, if the God is real, if the God's quality, if God is someone whom we give the authority, the mercifulness I would understand is the omniscient bodhicitta. From the Buddhist teaching point of view, I will not understand the mercifulness qualities of the Creator God has the mercifulness just to create 6 realms of samsaric existence. I don't think so. That's very limited. That's we don't need God. We can create even better than a God. how good we are to mess up things, how professional we are to create so much of problem after problem. Like me, problem after problem. I can create many problems, many sufferings, knowingly, unknowingly, and that's about creating samsara, the sixth realm of existence. Here now I say God created the world, the universe. The universe is actually within the three walls. The three walls are desire wall, formless wall. The existence is beyond this. Existence, there is an existence even out of these three walls. The beings of this three wall, the world system of this three wall is a suffering world system only. There are other numberless world system, that which is beyond this three wall, and it is pleasurable wall. It's a celestial world. There are numberless Buddhas, isn't it? Each Buddha has his own celestial worlds. So even I say the understanding of the quality of God, is very much the quality were adorned in relation to the human limited concept. So for me, it's a God, I think, and the Buddha. Like when we talk about Jesus, it's Buddha, no doubt. Talk about Mother Teresa, it's a Buddha, no doubt. Talk about Allah, Buddha, no doubt. Talk about Krishna, no doubt, Buddha. But we human being, like even when we talk about Ramayana, it's very much like it's all about spiritual war, but it creates like a human war, kind of human drama, and that is just simply projections of the limitations of we human being. But we label like Krishna as a ultimate merciful creator. You see, so therefore, someone coming from other religion, like a theistic religion, actually it's better if you study Dharma first. Then naturally you will arrive to take a refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. And Buddha Dharma Sangha, in fact, is also not a kind of like figure or person that we're going for refuge. That's why it's very beautiful. It says, the ultimate object of refuge is three: Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. But within these three, the ultimate is not even Buddha, not even Sangha. It's Dharma, the wisdom. The wisdom is the ultimate of the ultimate, or we call actual refuge is actually the Dharma. So Dharma is talking about wisdom. So, but here, we very much like defining, like refuge, or for Buddhists, is Buddha is like a person. Hindu is like Krishna, and the Muslim is Allah. And Christian is Jesus. So it's very much like defined by a person. But from Buddhist teaching point of view, it's not a person. Even when we talk about Buddha, the main thing we are talking about is the Dharmakaya. What you call the pre-model? What you call primordial? Primordial, or ultimate nature of existence, and that's in the loose language is called emptiness, which can be in every existent, but in how to say, but in ultimate is referring to the purest state, the purest existence, which is called Buddha. Even the Sanskrit language, Buddha, there's two words, Buddha. So Bud actually is, in Sanskrit language, is talking about demon. Bud prayed is a demon, and here again is demon, not talking about a kind of living being demon. It's talking about ignorant, the defilements. So da is I don't know, in the Sanskrit exactly, the Bud I understand, but what it means da I have no idea. But the translation in Tibetan is very clearly stated, called sang ye. So sang, what sang purify all the Bud, purify all the demons, purifies all the demon, that which limitations, delusions, karma, defilements. Ge means actualize or knowledge or achievement. What you achieve, the purity state, the purified state, the absolute nirvana, or you call enlightenment, whatever you want to say. So Buddha, Sangye. So again, that is not talking about person. It is a kind of like the state of phenomena that which uh, which overcome all limitations and totality of pure state. That's Buddha. So therefore, Buddha is for everybody. Since it's not about person, it's for everybody. Buddha can be refuge for everybody. In fact, Buddha can be refuge. Uh, Also, the theistic believers ultimately, but for ordinary mind, it's difficult to adjust. So that's why we don't have to rush to take refuge in the Buddha, because still there's a great influence about like going under the protection of like somebody else, some other force, and that is still carries some kind of like a still in person's embodiment. See, but ultimately, then when you learn the Dharma teaching, then you will come to a point that, oh, in fact, the wisdom of emptiness is the real refuge, and which is the Dharma, which is also Buddha, which is also Sangha. Dharmakaya, the state of Dharmakaya is a Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. But we also have another way of defining, Buddha as a Buddha in the two kind of uh, two kind of bodies. We call the wisdom body and the form body. So this is the true body that defining the defining defining the state of enlightenment. So there's also defined like four bodies, two wisdom body and two form body. So there are four bodies. One is called the truth body. Another one is the wisdom body. So that is the emptiness side of the Buddha's body. Buddha's form body is the Sambhavakaya form, Nirmanakaya form that this morning we're talking about in relation to the holy objects. Then Dharma is the Dharma also defined by ultimate and the conventional. The ultimate Dharma referring to path and cessation, or wisdom of the practitioner, and the application of the teaching, the wisdom, and you achieve the state of cessation. Because of application of the path, you manage to purify limitations and you reach to certain levels. which happen, along the training, especially in the Arya Bodhisattvas level, Arya beings level. So those are called the ultimate path. In another way, wisdom of emptiness is referring to the ultimate path. And when wisdom of emptiness used as an antidote to purify limitations of delusion like ignorance, and the state of cessation out of purifying the ignorant is also regarded as a dharma, so-called lamden and gokden. Lamden is truth of the path. Gokden is the truth of cessation. So from the Buddha's teaching taught Four Noble Truths, the later two truths are in fact, the ultimate dharma. So wisdom of emptiness, and through the using the tools of wisdom of emptiness, achieving a cessation from delusions, from defilements, are called the ultimate dharma. Conventional dharma or relative dharma, referring to the scriptures, which contain these teachings. So by studying them, it will cause us to realize the path, the actual wisdom, and realize the benefit of this actual, application of those actual wisdom, the cessations, liberations, stages of liberations. So, so the scriptures are called the conventional refuge. So Sangha are also called ultimate Sangha, conventional Sangha. So ultimate Sangha is referring to any individual, not necessarily Buddha, no doubt, but any individual who have a direct wisdom of emptiness. Then you become ultimate Sangha, ultimate community of Dharma practitioner. So in the Buddhist teachings, term is called the Arya beings. So the Arya beings, how would you define someone as an Arya being? So Arya is a special being. So ordinary and extraordinary. So the ordinaries are the common practitioner. When someone common practitioner become special due to realizing emptiness, then they are labeled as Arya beings. At the moment, I don't know about you, but at least me is ordinary being. Maybe some of you may be Arya beings or Bodhisattva or Buddhas, who knows? You never know. Yeah, never know. Even in relative world, ultimately everybody's Buddha. But even in relative world, we don't know. And sometimes you may also not know who really you are. And sometimes you meditate and you will be surprised. You are not as ordinary as what you thought. Really, you never know. So anyway, so when this ordinary person using the tools of conventional Dharma, which is learning the Buddha's teaching, the scriptures, and training on it through application, through meditations, through study, and one day you realize the actual wisdom, like such as emptiness. Not just learn the definition. Emptiness means lack of inherent existence, the nature of every existence, but you literally lose the entire grasping of attachment, lose the grasping of aversion, and lose the grasping of ignorance, lose the grasping of ego. you come to a point that complete void of, losing entire grips of graspings. And it becomes sustainable in our system without needed to kind of reminded by analytical observation. Everything you see like illusion alike. Everything understood beyond the way how it appears to us. Beyond. At the moment, we are very much kind of like stuck, just seeing the fabricated dualistic dualistically perceived worlds only. Everything see in the dualistic way. The perception is very much only able to function in a dualistic way. And also the things that even also appears to you as inherent, substantially existing from its own side. The reality is nothing exists from its own side. I do not exist from my own side, but we believe I exist from my own side. Otherwise, I would think, where do I exist? I exist, you exist from your own side. I never even have an idea, even the slightest idea that you exist there, projections of my mind, projections of my karma. You see, it's like there's complete independently existing from your from your side, from the object side. So these are called dualistic view. So dualistic view obstruct for us to see beyond the false established objects, the false false in the relation between subject and object. It obstruct to see beyond that. The day you're able to see beyond that dualistic environment, dualistic perception, you see the truth. Until then, you don't see the truth. We are in a falsely established world, falsely established me, falsely established mind, and everything's everything the false actually, and that is expressions of ignorant. So as long as ignorance is there, delusions are created. Those different partial attitudes are created. When delusions are there, naturally karmas are created. When karmas is there, then suffering is created. So when you realize the path, means you realize the truth, absolute truth. What is absolute truth? Nothing else than emptiness of emptiness of inherent existence, empty of inherent existence. You manage to establish me legitimate existence, but not existent from my own side. You see, if I manage to establish Geshe out there, mainly labeled by mind, and nothing, even the tiniest substantial substance that can be found within you, without you, around you, part of you, and bringing absolute void of totality of negating even the smallest phenomena from his own side, even an atom. Then now is the more smaller than atom. What do you call particles, neurons, plasticity, subatomic. So there are many. Yeah, some subatomic. That one. The subtractive
One,
Vachitama.
two split experiment.
Yes, yes, all this, unable to find at all, not in my mind, even though you are creations of my mind, and not at all within you, within any of your five aggregates, or even around, or even from somewhere else. And the Jayashri exists merely in name. And I see that fully, completely, clearly. And I managed to realize emptiness of Jayashri. And that's the day that I found real Jayashri, not the false. Up to now, I'm communicating with the false Jayashri, not false from your side, but false that established by my mind. My mind referring to the dualistic mind. So when you realize that absolute truth of Jayashri and rest of the phenomena, then and that also had to realize, there are stages of realization on ultimate truth, conceptually and non-conceptually. So as long as it's still relying on concept, labeling, still carry limitations. It's still not complete directly seeing the absolute truth. So in order to see that absolute truth, go beyond conceptuality, only can able to do that through a absorption state of meditation. The deepest level of meditation. Only the meditative mind can able to see. The moment we use our intelligence, the concept, the conventional intelligence and concept and the name and the knowledge, that also become obstacle. That also become obstacle. That made what in knowledge may able to realize emptiness, in concept may able to realize emptiness, but that realization is correct but not complete. Therefore, it is not direct realization on emptiness or direct realizations of emptiness of Jayashri. You see, the definitions are correct, the interpretations are correct, but why carry limitation? Because I'm still using my concept, still using language, still using, in order to realize Jayashri's emptiness of Jayashri, that I need to kind of like make sure that you're not mixed with someone else. So all these are limitation, because the ultimate nature of you is no different than the nature of the dawn. One taste. So if I still kind of hold back from any way seeing one taste, seeing one entity of your ultimate entity with the rest of the other phenomena's entity, I'm still hold back by concept. Because concept is the one bring differences, bring bias, segregations, and all these are limitations. It's in the ultimate view of emptiness, when you realize directly, then even samsara and nirvana, you don't see any difference. It's one taste. In that ultimate wisdom, samsara and nirvana, one taste. Everything is in one taste, and that is the best liberation, and that is the real liberation from the bondage of any grasping. And it is only happens when you lose entirety of graspings. Again, grasping in relation to concepts. You see, we have how much grasping to define you there and me here. How much segregations, how much limitations, how much blockage to arrive to oneness. mine and yours, my family, your family, my liking, my disliking, black, white, blue, brown, tall, short, fat, thin, you know. So that's why when you realize emptiness, then that's called the peace, the absolute settledness. What stress us, what really bind us with mm, how to say yeah uh, not absolutely experiencing the bliss, the freedom is because of it's the bondage of grasping. Grasping also from the gross to subtle. You see, so anyway, so when you reach to that absolute direct realization of emptiness, and that person become Arya being. So you define Arya being from that quality, and way to achieve Arya being is only through practice of Dharma. Again, the Dharma we cannot bound or kind of like a limit by religious term, even though this term used by religious context, but the real meaning of Dharma is talking about emptiness. Real meaning of Dharma is talking about the truth of everybody, truth of every existence is is a real existence of everybody. So that's nothing to do with the religion actually. It's the ultimate nature of everybody, isn't it? Yeah. So when we study Buddha Dharma, we will come to a point that uh, it kind of purifies all these how to say different segregations. I mean, one great example, like Dalai Lama, is known as the current 14th Dalai Lama, through his deep practice of the Buddha Dharma. From his side, he see every being as equal. You know, he see one family, one human family. He, the how much of his love that he has for Tibetans, he has equal love to entire sentient being, equal. Even someone who is causing harm to him, also he have the equal heart, because he see ultimately everybody is same, and that sameness is not through attitude. In fact, developed through the wisdom of realizing the emptiness. So that much power, you know, and then really someone become an Arya. I mean, Arya means extraordinary person because of that wisdom, and when you have that kind of quality, and someone literally in the midst of whatever chaos is going on in the world, someone still lives in so much peace, happiness. And again, the most obvious example is the Dalai Lama. I think he is one of the human being who went through the most chaos in life. At least compared to me, how much chaos that happened in my life compared to what Dalai Lama went through is nothing. Nothing, and he faces challenge since age of 2 onward. Can you imagine? From age of 2 onward, he been he been facing the challenge and overcoming the challenge, and that steadiness for him to still enjoy that kind of like an inner peace, and come to a stage that he see every humanity is like one family. Everybody is his loved one, and he even emphasized that it made him strong because of the training in the wisdom of emptiness. Even when we talk about this great value of attitude of bodhicitta, the real power of bodhicitta actually comes from the power of the wisdom of emptiness. Even in the beginner level, the more you study emptiness, the more you realize how much interconnected we are. Because emptiness meaning, the meaning of emptiness is interdependent existence. Everything is dependent on each other. Nothing is solo, nothing is individual. Nothing is just one. Everything, every existence is rely on so many things. So everywhere, everybody. You know. So even in the Arya Bodhisattva level of that kind of advanced path, when Bodhisattvas Bodhisattvas need to improve through 10 levels, we call the 10 bhumis. And each bhumi, they faces big challenges. The challenges are the challenge of defilements and delusions. First, challenge of delusions. Then second is challenge of defilements, means obscuration of omniscience. So up to the level 7, they faces the challenge of delusions. But in order to overcome the challenge of delusion, which also in scripturally labeled as a negation, the antidote is wisdom of emptiness. But the wisdom of emptiness there's no differences from the first level to the second level. If you realize wisdom of emptiness directly, and that 10 Bhumi Bodhisattva realize emptiness, that realization of emptiness is the same value, the same definition, nothing different, sameness. But it is forces, there are difference. So what brings the same wisdom, but minor forces to greater forces, is by the power of the bodhicitta, compassion. But then bodhicitta also the same definition. The definition of the bodhicitta, even in our ordinary level, the same thing. And someone who's the Arya Bhumi's level, the bodhicitta, the same thing. But bodhicitta also need to grow more force in order to grow from the path. So what makes the bodhicitta to grow? The wisdom of emptiness is the one that actually, helping the bodhicitta to grow. So these two is like you call as the two wings of the path. These two parts, serve as the two wings for the bird to fly. When the birds this side of the wing paddle, like you call paddles, it helps to get strengthened this side of the wing. Then this side of the wing paddle, and it helps this side of the wing to get stronger and helping each other. Otherwise, how strong the wing this side cannot fly. So you give an example like that. The bodhicitta in wisdom emptiness, it serve like two wings to cross the oceans of samsara and reach to the state of the destination, the nirvana and enlightenment. You see, so therefore, so I'm talking about sangha. So the Arya Bodhisattvas are ultimate sangha. Then conventional relative sanghas are the monks and nuns who uphold strict vows. Because of the strict vows, of course, their objective is to also to reach to Arya level, eventually enlightened. So there are a lot of training that is similar to the training that which collect similar courses to resolve all the qualities of the Arya. So that's why the Sangha communities, the conventional Sangha communities, can be inspiration for we beginners to live on the path. So these three are this Sangha, like that. Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So this is question answer, isn't it? Question answers answer. So actually this cover, I wanted to talk about the three objects of refuge. So these are the three objects of refuge: Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and as quoted this morning by the Chandrakirti, whoever aspire for liberation, then Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is to be taken as their refuge, their ultimate refuge. So now the they require causes and right conditions and right causes to genuinely to receive the refuge precept in our heart. In the scripture, it talk about fear and faith. So again, we briefly mentioned before, fear in relation to understanding the limitations of all the help that we rely on, even in the worldly environment for temporary happiness. And no question about the limitations of the three lower realms and limitations of karma and delusion and limitations of even we born in higher realm, human and God, still bound by suffering. Mm? So these are the limitations. And even we manage to achieve liberation, but since we have a connection with the rest of the sentient being, like how we have connection with our own parents, our own loved one in this life, we do have a connection with the rest of the other sentient beings in similar way throughout many lifetimes. And comparing your current position while you are taking refuge or while you have the refuge and the positions of those many other sentient beings, even in the human world, there's so many have no refuge. So many so many suffering beings who have no guides, who have no protections, and no questions about those animals, those of the other sentient beings, like hell realm, in the hell realm, in Holy Ghost realm. So then the limitations of the defilements, from there you see if you don't overcome defilements, you won't able to achieve Buddhahood to be more effective benefit to numberless sentient beings' well-being, because you will not have omniscient mind, the complete perfected clairvoyance. At this stage, even I wish to help myself also, I do not understand entirety of the what really I want and what really I do not want. And I don't have a clarity of how to gather right causes for happiness and how to overcome the causes for the sufferings. It is very obvious that carrying this, you know, these limitations of ignorant, even do not wish suffering, but willingly gather causes for suffering. Even wish for happiness, but then we have a lot of obstacle to gather causes of happiness. And no question about understanding the different mental dispositions of other sentient beings. So if without having clairvoyance, no way I can be more effective helping others. But even have clairvoyance, I may not able to understand entirety of the different karmic mental dispositions of sentient beings. So if I have omniscient mind, then I will have understanding of gross to subtle entirety of the mental dispositions and karmic dispositions of sentient beings, so that accordingly, then I can manage to reach out to the rest of the numberless sentient beings equally. So for that purpose, then I must achieve enlightenment. And you understand that Buddha carry the qualities of omniscient. Dharma carry the qualities of being the most powerful antidote to all the limitations. Sangha carries the best environment to uphold the Dharma. Then you gain genuine inspiration towards actualizing Buddha Dharma within by understanding their quality on the basis of developing aspiration. That aspiration also develop by understanding the limitations of all the limitations that we talk about. And from there, you develop sense of urgency, even the fear, at the initial level, even the fear can be developed on the basis of understanding that even though right now, I'm not in the hell realm, hungry ghost realm, animal realm, but I have a lot of karmic imprints. So, and at the same time, if I don't practice the antidote now, then the next moment maybe is already arrived to the experiencing the consequences of the law realm and due to the karma, because death is certain, time of death is uncertain. Really don't know. Nobody knows when is my last breath in this life. So through this faith, through the urgency that to take refuge develop on the basis of the fear that which develop on the basis of understanding of all this limitation, and at the same time, having developed genuine faith, the understanding the qualities of the triple gem, then there comes the complete surrendering yourself under the protections of Buddha Dharma Sangha, and that's the time that the refuge take born into our system. So in short, if somebody happen to ask, or you happen to ask, what are the causes that which will result refuge in me? Fear and faith, or understanding the limitations of samsara, and the faith or the aspiration that develop understanding the qualities of the triple gem. So these two are the causes. So we talk about the reason why we need to take refuge. The reason is we don't want to be in this side of the wall, and we are right in the middle of the bridge. Means if we wish to continue to cross the bridge, we have the ability to do so. And we also learn about the other side of what kind of the world at the other side, which is the world of liberation and enlightenment, which is only blissful. The freedom from all the sufferings and limitations, which is so nice to be, isn't it? So wonderful to be. And at the same time, the reality is our existence, will not perish, will not go away when our human life ends. Our existence remain forever. Means our existence, the being's existence will live forever in a continuum. So even the human aggregate exhaust, we will reincarnate, keep reincarnate. You see. So so therefore, the journey that what we have in this life and the journey beyond this life, is longer, more complex, very much unknown kind of journey. So even in this life, we need so much of securities to protect us from troubles. There's no question about for future lifetime, to go to unknown place, untraveled place, more lengthy, journey, then definitely we need a qualified guide, qualified leads, and there's no better than Buddha Dharma Sangha. That's the also reason why we take refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. For immediate level, when you have refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, whenever obstacle that strike in our life, the having the refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, timely intervene or timely that the help will arrive in the form of wisdom, in the form of wisdom, in the form of blessings, or in the form of support. In the form of blessings, that you become fearless, even obstacle strike due to the ripening of past karma, but you feel that I have a protection of Buddha. I don't need to fear. I can overcome this. I can overcome this challenge. You become a very strong person even an immediate level. In our ordinary, from the very beginning, when we have a strong refuge, that will help. Many of the challenges, the Dharma wisdom, having refuge in the Dharma, the exercising the precept by learning the Dharma, by practicing the Dharma become very familiar knowledge in our heart. The mindfulness in Dharma become greater than before. So, like such as the wisdom of impermanence, when certain can be health issue or business issue, relationship issue, or whatever challenges comes in our way, in the immediate level, in our ordinary mind, the mind without wisdom, then the problem appear to be as if like a permanent problem. Oh, now I have this problem, and it's like forever. I'm going to get into trouble. Hardly in that initial mind, hardly have the capability to think that, oh, this can be cured. I don't have to be so scared. I rather stay calm and rather look for good help. Could be medicine, whatever. But most cases, strike with so much of fear and confusion, and also complaints, agitations. Why me? Why strike on me? I've been doing a lot of exercise. I've been eating right food. You know, I've been very kind to other people. How come I got this problem? You know, there's a lot of unanswered. The cloudy mind will make us even more miserable. But if we have a stronger Dharma refuge, then you have the wisdom of understanding impermanence. Oh, this is problem, yes, but this problem lies in the nature of impermanence. It can change, it can disappear, it can be cured. And it's impermanent. Since it is not permanent, so therefore condition can make things changes. So conditions of rather go to see doctor, rather take right medicine, uh, whatever help that you just get it, and rather focus on those help rather than stress and confusion and fear and anxiety. So when you start to practice refuge, the mindfulness of Dharma become more frequent, more easy to bring help to oneself, within oneself. And also the Dharma wisdom, that how the Dharma refuge will help is with the wisdom of, oh, this is, everything is interdependent existing. Everything exists, cause and effect. And this is something unpleasant, it has to be result of unpleasant actions in the past. So normally we say it's a result of past karma. So and karma is something that unless you purify with opponent power, but otherwise the karma become definite karma, means definitely have to experience the result. As also we have I briefly mentioned before, the how tiny the karma is. If you don't purify, it has the nature of increasing its power. I've given an example of like killing one insect. If you don't purify immediately, then about 15 days time, it becomes equal power as killing one human being. The uh, tiny karma uh, can become cause of the suffering experience in the hell realm, and not necessary, to experience that way if we manage to purify before, you know. So therefore, so this karma definitely has to be the result of ripening, ripening karma of the definite past karmic potential. And by ripening, it purifies, meaning from the root, it will clear from my system. So this karma will never increase and become a fruitful cause for me to experience suffering in unbearable suffering realm like hell realm. And I'm so fortunate that I'm experiencing it in the environment that I can get a medical help, help of family, help of friends, in a very comfortable environment. So it is rather is blessing. So even that kind of dharma will occur, dharma wisdom will occur. Having so much faith in Buddha because you take refuge in Buddha. Now these are mentioned by taught by Buddha. So you have a full trust what Buddha say, and you and the teaching you exercise them through learning, and now it just comes in timely when you need them in your mindfulness, and it is so relieving. Now instead of you feel I'm in disaster, you even start to say it is a blessing that that I experienced this karmic result in such a comfortable environment. Yes, it is something is very bad. How wonderful I don't have to experience it, but experiencing means is a result of definite karma, which just matter of time need to experience. That experiencing now itself is the sign that particular karma already been definite karma, so must ripen as a result. So so for sure, these karmic consequences will never experience again in future time. So therefore, it's truly blessing. Otherwise, the karma increase, maybe even may need to experience in the Vajra hell, which experiences eons of lifetime there, which will be disaster, isn't it? So, and not only that, then again, yesterday we really talked about the practice of Tonglen. Oh, now I rather take this karmic suffering. I rather use meaningful purposes, not only purification, but I rather even use to develop my heart to actualize the level of bodhisattva through the practice of taking and giving. May at least may this anyway I am going through this problem. May this be sufficient of ripening of all the other sentient beings suffering, so that no sentient being need to suffer. So you can see if you realize that you have that kind of heart, you will respect yourself as like bodhisattva. If you knew that you even in that crisis you have such a courageous heart like a bodhisattva, and then from there you can validate that you are really like bodhisattva. You had so much merit. So fine, it's a human life. I already first mistake is to be born. So the aging, sickness, and death, even death comes in my way. This is a package, comes together. But one thing for sure is that I'm going to have a much more better rebirth in future lifetime. And looking at my attitude, the bodhicitta is so strong, the tonglen is so strong, compassion is so strong. So this is the pre-occurring sign that what kind of reincarnation you're going to take, very much bodhisattva kind of reincarnation. So then from there, like you become so strong, you become, you kind of like, you don't mind facing the death. You don't mind, even death comes in your way. It's like kind of, this cloth is way out. Now I'm going to go into a new wardrobe, to get a nice cloth like that. So nice body, better body, healthy mind. So how wonderful. So these are the teaching the Buddha taught: practice of tolerance, practice of bodhicitta, practice of taking other suffering onto you, practice of dedicating your goodness to others, practice of purification. So when you have a refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the faith and trust in the word of Buddha's wisdom is so strong. And when the words of Buddha's teaching occurs in your memory, occurs in your mind, or sometimes even just opening the book and you just read them, it just directly hits the heart. It directly heals you, directly helps you, So then, since you have a Sangha refuge, then you're very much somehow directly or indirectly connected with the Sangha environment. Someone who have studied Dharma, someone who have dedicated their life in the Dharma, and in that kind of environment, they will assist us with the sharing or reminding Dharma or sharing Dharma or at least dedicating prayers, moral supports. So this is how that Buddha Dharma Sangha, even in conventional level, bring help into our life like that. See, so so these are the benefit. Even immediate level, it's so comforting. You know, when we were little in a monastery, so there's one dormitory accommodation called Nupulinga, about 2-story or 3-story built with the wood, and then that built not like professionally like what you have here. So make a lot of noise and sometimes a bit shaky also, but it's about 3-story, I think. So all the little kids sleep there, like maybe, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 kids, I think. And our toilets are, it's quite far away. And there are a lot of bamboos that time, a lot of bamboos around. And of course the kids, daytime we play, run around. And in front of the monastery, there's one corner. At the moment, now in Kopo Monastery, that corner is the coffee shop area. So last time there's a big bamboos and one panjapanning, big panjapanning tree. Then in between there's a big hole. Then you can fall down. So the kids are running here and there, and the panjapani tree is the root is like very big, so it go like slang like that, and like to like challenge walking on there, and falls. So so kids play and falls there. So then the senior monks and comes and tell us, the younger one, they say that don't go near the bamboo, because wherever there's a bamboo, there's a ghost. So the kids scared of ghosts, isn't it? So they say, so not necessarily there's a ghost, but in order for us not to make problem, they say don't go near bamboo, because there got ghosts. So wherever there's a bamboo, got ghosts. So around our bathroom, the toilet, there was a lot of bamboos. So we believe wherever there's a bamboo, there's a ghost. So nighttime, not there to go to toilet. So most of us will pee on our bed. So our abbot Lama Lundu, he tried to find many solutions, and where not to pee on the bed. And I remember when I arrived, and for months and months, he's actually helping all the little monks. He will stay until 1, 2 o'clock. And if any boys, they kind of like either cry, means they want to go to pee but cannot go, cry or whatever. Then he will help to bring to toilet. Then after that, let them sleep. Then he go back to his room like that. It's unbelievable Bodhisattva abbot. And day after day. So he would mostly go to sleep around 2 o'clock. Very much, I think, after around midnight, the most of the kids, like to pee, somehow. So then, yeah, like that. Then the abbot used to wake up very early morning. So I think he must be sleeping about 2 hours, maximum around 3 hours, like that. And that time he used to be the abbot, of course, and discipliner, and also the chant master in the puja. So we used to start morning puja quite early. So he's already there before everybody comes in. And at the same time, like carer for all the little kids, amazing. Anyway, so after that, more and more new kids are coming in, and then he realized he need to find another way to help solve this problem. So then he started to have a Sunday special get together with the little kids only, for him to like talk and for him to give some advice. So his main advice, he don't say much, but he would say many rounds. Buddha is everywhere, and Buddha is even in the toilet, and Buddha is around the toilet, and Buddha he also knew that some of the senior monks been like kind of like threatening us with ghosts around the bamboo. He said, especially around the bamboo, there's a Buddha, more Buddhas. So he said total opposite, and of course we trust him more than but yeah, like that. So he said everywhere is Buddha, So therefore he said, boys, my child, no need to scare to go to toilet. So whenever you want to go to pee, just go to the toilet. Buddha is helping you. Buddha is there. Buddha is like that. Then after that, really the problem was solved. And one day, I had to go and meet my auntie somewhere in that time she was staying in Swayambhu. And when I come back, it was a bit late. And that time the Kopan nunnery where currently settled was not there yet. And very much not many, buildings there. Mostly it's a field. And along the way, everywhere is bamboo.
No.
So there's a late evening and quite dark, and then I was walking and there's some sound, like actually the sand and the rocks under my feet is the one that making friction and sound, like crack crack crack. Then bamboo sha sha sha. So it's a ghost, ghosts everywhere, and then I try to run away from the ghost. Then make more sound. So ghosts chasing after me. So I run more, and ghost is running faster after me. I was so scared. And that time, the hill, even now, is quite steep. Right at the nunnery there, you have to climb up. Many cars cannot climb up on. Very hard. At that time, it's muddy or not proper road. Now it's a peace. So I was climbing up, and the ghost is like kind of chasing after me. The more I run, I stop a little bit, the ghost stops. So that kind of, Then suddenly, the one time that I just running up and almost like finishing my breath. So I cannot, and I have no choice. I have to stop. And I remember the abbot's advice. Suddenly, before I didn't remember, until that my entire physical energy was finished. When I cornered to almost no help, And of course, getting darker and darker. And suddenly, his advice that Buddha is everywhere. And especially around the bamboo, more Buddhas. Because I don't need to scare. Then naturally I myself calm and my mind is clearer, and immediately start to say the mantra, the Om Mani Padme Hum. And immediately because of that, it made me remind to recite the mantra. Then I slow down and I feel like the ghost is no more chasing me, and I walk calmer. It's like there's no sound, so it's like okay, now ghost, completely like the Buddha is helping. I think Buddha intervened like that. So then after that, I walk like gently, reciting mantra, already reach in front of the main gate of the Gomba. So, oh yes. So even in ordinary day-to-day life, what I mean, when you have a refuge, you know, Buddha Dharma Sangha, and the refuge is even for that in those childs only thinking is about playing, but even with the help of Sangha, this abbot we can regard as a Sangha, keep reminding it like myself, it protected me from fear. Otherwise, who knows? I may get freaked out. I may get into trouble. I still need to from nunnery up to there. It's still quite a long way to go. Those of you who went to Kopan, so much. Even that level. Now, can you imagine if ourselves been practicing? You know, if ourselves practicing the Dharma in meditation and leaving such an intense imprint in our system, that mindfulness will be even more easy to arrive, easy to remember, comes in our mind, and especially like we all grown-up people, we use logics, reasoning. So over there, just simply trusting the what the abbot says, even so powerful. But here you are convinced by your own analytical capability with the logic and reasoning, and doing like kind of like repeated kind of sadhana, retreat kind of practices. How powerful it's going to be to help whenever we are in fear, whenever we are in a trouble. So therefore this, yeah, since there's not much time, so I better talk about Ngondro. So the Ngondro is a retreat form of retreat practice. Form of retreat practice. Um, so mm, so I think Ngondro in Tibetan language is saying go before those essential or main practices. Here, the main and essential practice is referring to tantric practice, especially high-sugi tantric practice. High-sugi tantra carries two very important elements of yogas called the generation and completion stages of the tantric path, which understood this practice carries the tools and the yogas and blessings that can cause us to achieve enlightenment if we are diligent enough, and if all the conducive conditions are there, uh, uh, which can swiftly actualize our path up to enlightenment, which is also called a sweet path. In tantras are called sweet path, quick path to enlightenment. Even though there are 4 schools of tantra, earlier 3 schools also have the practices to achieve enlightenment in one lifetime, but the life need to be prolonged. Many human lives is not good enough. The ordinary human community life not good enough. So you need to rely on certain deities like White Tara practices, Amitayu practices, Namgyalma practices. These are they call the 3 long life deities. receiving initiations of these deities and practicing their mantra, practicing their sadhana, understood that our life will prolong more than our karmic design, the lifespan. The life would be enough to complete the path. But the highest yogic tantra, from the fourth tantric school, the last one, for highest yoga tantra, within the brief ordinary human lifetime, can achieve the whole path and can achieve the enlightenment. So now here, main path, the preliminary or preparatory is to get prepared to accomplish this main part of the high yogic tantric practices. So Ngondro means something go before. Go before is preliminary practice, preparatory practice. For what? Your main practice. What is that main practice? High yogic tantric practice. What is high yogic tantric practice? What is the essence? It's generation and completion stage of the tantric path. So in order to reach there, you need to receive initiation. You will be introduced to the celestial environment of the deity. Then you practice the yoga within that environment using the sadhana and meditation tools. So in order to genuinely qualify to receive initiation, up to that kind of initiation, then common preliminary and uncommon preliminary to be accomplished. Not everybody do that. Some people they never even aware of what is common preliminary, uncommon preliminary. They will, when they see the opportunity of initiation, they just receive the initiation. But then many those individuals, they, when they get to that point, they don't really understand what to practice, how to practice, and also obstacles and etc. etc. So therefore, in this part of training, the preliminaries are regarded very, very important. So the common preliminary or common preparatory practices are the commonly we learn. Lamrim is the common preliminary practice. All the topic that taught in the gradual path to enlightenment, that particular text called Lamrim, in the traditions of Lama Tsongkhapa. So in Tibetan, there's one volume, but English translation, there are 3 volumes. It is also called gradual path to enlightenment. So Lamrim. So the topic is very much start from learning about characteristic of what kind of guru that you should rely on, what kind of characteristic that you yourself as a student, ripening student, need to equip, then how to practice the guru-disciple relationship. Then after that, then learning about limitations of samsara, learning about the favorable conditions of precious human rebirth, learning about true truth, learning about Four Noble Truth, traveling of interdependent existence, learning about emptiness, learning about shamatha, learning about bodhicitta, etc. So all these topics, there are many topics. If you summarize into 3 points called the 3 principal aspects of the path. So if you want to learn this specific 3 points, then Lama Tsongkhapa, again, he wrote a very, very concise teaching called, the name of the teaching, the text also called 3 principal aspects of the path. A teaching on the 3 principal aspects of the path. The 3 principal aspects of the path: renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness. So we really talk here and there about renunciation. What to be renounced? Renounce samsara, renounce karma, delusion, blah, blah, blah. Bodhicitta, we briefly touch here and there. The altruistic mind, which develop from great compassion, etc. Then the third one is emptiness. We also discussed briefly around what emptiness is. So these 3 things has to be intact: renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness. So these 3 things you can take as a common preliminary. But if you go more loose language, and if you go more detailed, then the meditation on precious human rebirth, meditation, understanding and meditation on precious human rebirth, where the practitioner will lead to a making decision that I have all the favorable conditions, inner and outer favorable conditions to accomplish the path, to study the, to complete the study of the Dharma, complete practice of the Dharma, including achieving of the enlightenment. I have all the favorable conditions. So when you study, when you meditate on the 8 freedoms and 10 endowments, which define what means precious human rebirth, the inner conditions, like such as intake of human intelligence, intake of all the senses, our mind is very clear, we have time to practice, teachings are available, we are not in the hell realm, Holy Ghost realm, animal realm, we are in the human realm, we have teachers, we have a complete path, including Tantra, nothing is lacking. So when we realize that, then yes, I can definitely complete learning, complete practice. So that's one of the the meaning of getting understood of the 3 principal aspects of the path, or that you have all the reasons to understand, equip these 3 principal aspects of the path, because since you are precious human rebirth, definitely you have the wisdom to renounce all things to be renounced, samsara be renounced, etc., etc. Since you have this human favorable condition, definitely bodhicitta, so precious, that can be achieved. How amazing that wisdom or emptiness also can be realized, because you have this precious human rebirth. So that's first decision. Then the second preliminary is death and impermanence. Yes, I have all this favorable condition, but this favorable condition lies in the nature of impermanent. This precious human rebirth lies in the nature of one day will perish. So death is certain, time of death is uncertain. And there are more conditions for causing life than protecting life. So therefore, while I have whole inner outer condition to practice Dharma and achieve enlightenment, I should do that right now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next time. Because this is the most favorable time, and I should accomplish all the things I wish to accomplish now. Because there may be no next moment. Yeah. So that is the second decision. Not only I have all the power to practice, I must practice now. And the third decision is, we briefly discuss, like nothing in the worldly goodness will help us. Money, power, etc., etc. Mm, mm. Even in the minor obstacles in life. And can you imagine when we go through the biggest challenge of life is death, facing the death. Compared to the intensity of the hallucination that comes in our way to the death process, and the distraction that comes to our mind, comes to our body due to the dissolutions of the elements, like such as the 4 elements. Physically also will be very inconvenient, painful. Then mentally also you receive those intensify those obstacles due to the mind also degenerating because of losing concentrations, losing our strength of mind. When someone is passing away, everything, the life force will be degenerate. So nothing the worldly glory will help us, including of our whatever, like any kind of mental strength that now we kind of use, even in relation to Dharma. Like, and right now, okay, if you don't remember, you open the book, you can see, your eye can see, You can read them and remind. But at the time of deathbed, I think you may not even see properly. Even someone recite or advise on in your ear, you may not hear properly. Even you hear and you see, but then your mind may not able to think properly, think straight. So you need something that which the power carries in our subconscious mind, our more subtle levels of mind, our own more meditative level of our mind. And the meditative level of mind and the subtle level of consciousness and subtle level of imprints manifest when the gross mind sees. It is a natural process. Why at the moment those subtle consciousness cannot express? Why at the moment those of the subtle virtuous imprint we accumulate in the past also cannot remember? Because our gross mind is so active. But when the death comes, the gross mind naturally ceases. Gross memories are seized. And this has the advantage of waking up all the subtle imprints. The meditative state of training will start to wake up. Everything become like now, like wide open eyes and seeing with the best vision of the objects. Naturally happens that, when gross mind sees. You see? So therefore, only the imprint of the Dharma, and that also, when we talk about practice of Dharma, ultimately you need to preserve through meditation. How much you study externally, how much you contemplate, but ultimately you need to carry into a repeated absorption meditations, more deeper level of meditation. Through discipline, you try to quiet your gross mind, which is very hard, but we have to train our very best and try to do try to remain in the deep meditative state. That training has to happen, and that also has to happen repeatedly. And that way, then when our gross aggregates are no more function, then all this imprint will come and help us, take care of us during the most difficult period, through the death process and intermediate state, and even before taking the rebirth. The rebirth will also have to define by ripening of our virtuous imprints. So therefore, ultimately, only the Dharma helps. Ultimately, nothing can bring along with us. Nothing can bring with us. Everything has to leave behind. Even the most cherished object, which is your body, whole life we know, whatever we do is we do to protect this body. You see, if we human beings have no body, I think we don't need to earn so much money to build a home. We can live anywhere.
Or get taxed.
Yeah, and some more you text. So because of having body, that's why you need house to live in to protect this body. Because of having this body, how much money, how much energy we use for feed, food, drinks. You see. So anyway, so yeah, so because of this body, we have this kind of like an external identity, that which develops so much of delusions in relation to that, like attachment, etc., etc. So anyway, whole life very much the closest relationship we build is with this body. And every way, this is the most attached. And but in the most difficult time, which is at the time of death, even this body will leave us alone. Our being has to travel solo without this body. That's why the consciousness will come out of this body. Then from there, the birth or intermediate state arrive. And during the intermediate state, which is another very crucial period to defining, what kind of rebirth you're going to go. And before that, during the clear light period, which is before the intermediate state ripen, very crucial period. There, nothing external factor will help except the meditative imprint on the Dharma. Those best meditators, they will utilize the natural clear light occurrence onto the path and even become Buddha there. Your through the tools of your Dharma imprint, very much you're able to go back to your origin, which is the Buddha being. That's where you emerge with the origin of your being, the Dharmakaya. Then you remain from there onward, completely away from the fabrications or hallucinations or dualistic, absolute, ever purity, Buddha. And lesser than that, you manage to be born into higher realms like Pure Land. And lesser than that, at least you realize wisdom or emptiness directly. If not, at least conceptually realize wisdom or emptiness directly, because the experience of clear light understood as an experience of emptiness. So if you are familiar with the Dharma, which earlier I mentioned, according to the teaching, that Dharma ultimately referring to a wisdom of emptiness. So if we are familiar in meditation on the wisdom of emptiness, then you have some experience of how, when the emptiness wisdom occurred to you, what kind of experiences that you experience. So then when the natural experience of emptiness through the occurrence of the natural clear light comes in your way, and your imprint kind of introduced to your wisdom to the natural occurrence of clear light as an object, the natural occurrence of clear light as an object, and the experience of your past wisdom as a wisdom, to realize this natural occurring of the emptiness as an emptiness. Otherwise, it's just one of the experience and pass. So if you're able to realize that directly and you manage to absorb into that, similar way how you have trained in your life through meditation on emptiness, you manage to realize wisdom of emptiness directly, which understood that many meditators, they take opportunity there. If not, at least you manage to secure a great deal of virtue, and you determine your virtuous intermediate state and virtuous reincarnation in future lifetime. You see. So only Dharma can deliver, the practice of Dharma can deliver into this different level of benefits. So therefore, now the third decision is then I only practice Dharma. But that also doesn't mean, because here, all of you have many responsibilities, lay responsibilities, family responsibilities. So it's not asking to go somewhere in heritage and like let go of everything. Your responsibility is not talking about that. It's simply meaning to integrate everything, try to translate everything to realize these three principal aspects of the path: renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness. And try to see things through the wisdom of emptiness, and try to translate things through the attitude of bodhicitta, good or bad experiences, and try to understand the reality of the realistic samsaric world, and try to have a sense of renunciation, means sense of detach. You see. So now So these are the common Ngondro. Now the uncommon Ngondro is referring to uncommon preparatory practice. There are four, the counting of four major Ngondros. Then it's number 6. There are and 12 also different many Ngondros, but minimum 4 Ngondros, 4 preliminary, uncommon preliminary practice. But this uncommon preliminary practice traditionally conduct after we have some study and some time study and practice in the common Ngondro, means studying Lamrim and meditating on the Lamrim topics like three principal aspects of the path. So you're already familiar with that. Then you upgrade yourself, you progress yourself now to engage into uncommon preliminary. But the whole purpose is ultimately to able to practice the most valuable path, which is the Haisuke Tantric path. Now the four Ngondros are for refuge and Vajrasattva and mandala offering and Guru Yoga. So refuge is very much to plant the seed of enlightenment. The refuge is plant the seed of enlightenment, or plant the seed to actualize all the blessings. So very much plant the seed of enlightenment. Even though we already have Buddha nature, but for the training purpose, something that you can grow that seed to able to make possible also the seed that already have in our system, they also be developed. So refuge is plant the seed of enlightenment. Now, in order this seed to properly grow, then you need to take away all the weeds, all the pebbles, whatever, then clear all the obstacles. For that, then the preliminary practice of Vajrasattva, which is for purification. So in order to purify the obstacles and limitations, in order the seed to grow, then Vajrasattva preliminary practice. Now, seed is planted, all obstacles clear, you continue to nurture, isn't it? Similar like when you plant crops, you drop the seed there, then after that, all the obstacles, to clear away, and along the way also obstacle, clearing all the obstacles like weed, etc. But then you continue to plant water, timely, light, sun, etc. Then the seed will continue to grow. So here, the spiritual seed is to be grown through the force of merits. Merits here, the two type of merits: merits of method, merits of wisdom. Meaning any merit that you accumulate in relation to method aspect of the path, like such as loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, all these are in relation to method aspect of the path. It helps to grow the method aspect of the merit. The wisdom aspect of the merit is whenever you develop wisdom of no self, wisdom of emptiness, then our wisdom of merits grow. So these two merits are the conducive conditions the seed to continue to grow. Then so for that, there's one practice called mandala offering. So when we get there, so we will go through another explanation in relation to that particular practice. So it's one of the practice that which our past masters, like even Lama Tsongkhapa, he accumulate, I think, 3.5 million times of numbers of mandala offering practices. So most of the preliminary, like refuge, Vajrasattva, million over. Then the last one is a Guru Yoga, the Ngondro practice or preliminary practice of Guru Yoga. So why Guru Yoga? Guru is nearest embodiment of all the Buddhas. As I mentioned this morning before doing the prostration. the Dharmakaya, Sambhavakaya, Nirmanakaya, and even the Nirmanakaya, like Shakyamuni Buddha is a Nirmanakaya body, which accessible for ordinary mind, but for us, we didn't meet him in person. But then like a Dalai Lama or your spiritual gurus, they are the one that who carry the same qualities of the Buddhas, same knowledge, same inspiration, but they come to us in our level so that we can communicate directly. We can see them because that ordinariness actually opened the barrier between us and the Buddha, and the gurus are understood as a nearest or the nearest medium between us and the deities, like tantric deities. So in order to develop the nearest channel between us, practitioner, and the Buddhas and the deities, when you activate the guru in between, then the blessings were easily received. So for that purpose, then, Guru Yoga practice is to receive the blessing of the deities and Buddhas. We accumulate the Guru Yoga Ngondro practices like that. So now, minimum 100,000 to be accumulated. Of course, like as mentioned, Lama Tsongkhapa, millions. He accumulated millions. If Lama Tsongkhapa, who is embodiment of Majeshwari, in order to have a direct visions of all the deities and to realize, to achieve enlightenment one lifetime, accumulate that many, and for ordinary people like me, and I need to accumulate how many more, much more than that, isn't it? But at least start with the minimum 100,000. So usually this retreat, any form of retreat, can be conducted in many ways. One is a strict retreat, one is open retreat. The strict also got many levels of strictness. Open also got many levels of openness. So here the open retreat is the most open retreat, meaning without putting away any of our common responsibility, and you still can accumulate the practice. Here we are talking about this year is to start with the refuge. So refuge, there's a verse. I go for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, actually one line. So that's a refuge. I go for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. And if you have time and you meditate on the meaning we discuss, acknowledging the qualities of the Buddha, blah, 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 blah. So minimum commitment in order to remain within the retreat is at least one time. But usually once you take refuge in Buddhist tradition, 3 times a day, 3 times in the evening. And some people that also cannot do. So in order not to become any obstacle to break the retreat, I normally give the commitment of just do minimum one time, and whenever you can, you do more. But otherwise, as I mentioned before, how powerful the refuge can help remembering Buddha Dharma Sangha. I give one ordinary example from childhood to all the other benefits that we can think of. One should remain like all throughout the day and night inseparable from Buddha Dharma Sangha. But then again, we have so many other things to interrupt us. So to remain in retreat, one minimum one. So I go for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. And if you want to conduct this retreat together with the retreat of Bodhicitta, then there's a refuge in Bodhicitta verse. Sangye Chodam Soji Sonamla. I go for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha until I achieve enlightenment. Sangye Chodam Soji Chanjubandani Jasunche. Dagi Chinsuki Sonamki. Dola Pinja Sangye Dogasho. May I achieve Buddhahood, action like generosity and the rest of the practice of perfection I achieve in the state of full enlightenment for the benefit of sentient. So I didn't say all the wording correctly, So you can use this one verse, the refuge and bodhicitta prayer. So this 4-line prayer. First 2 prayers is about refuge. Second 2-line prayers in relation to bodhicitta practice. So when if you want to conduct retreat to accomplish both, then minimum 1 of this prayer daily. Then we accumulate this at least throughout 1 year, so that every year remembering that remember to do this, and also having this idea of the I'm in a retreat, somehow it will leave a very strong, deep imprint in our subconscious mind. And as I mentioned before, how important to have a deep imprint in our subconscious mind in order to help us during the difficult times. And living deep imprint in subconscious mind is either through single point of absorption or either through keep repeated exercise many times. That will carve a deep imprint in our consciousness. So therefore, so this if you like to do this Ngondro retreats, then you can start with the now right after this I will offer the short refuge ceremony. Then after that, then from today onward, you can just nothing changes and nothing extra. Just remember at least minimum once. I go for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. Not even need to memorize the text. Everybody knows. So easy, And if you prefer to do other one, then you can do that. And also there's a note that Venerable Anikunsan compiled. There's a note. There's information here and there all put together, and but that one is not a sadhana for you to follow, but that is more like get more information. But the one thing that to remember, and which is so easy to remember, is remember to exercise your speech. I go for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, and even verbally you cannot exercise. Even you can do mentally. So the recitations of mantras and prayers, there's a two. One is mental recitation, one is verbal recitation. So actually mental recitation is even more important, because that really become a meditation that requires a certain level of concentration. Sometimes when you are too easy reciting, verbally you remember, the mind, there's no much focus, So, but verbal also important, because of we need to purify karma in relation to body, speech, and mind, all three. That's why verbally reciting prayers and mantra has its own advantage. But sometimes, there comes a question when let's say very ill, you cannot even say words. But I still want to be, live meaningfully daily, at least being in the retreat. And then the question may raise, can I recite in my heart? Can. That's even better. So either recite verbally or either mentally, So mentally is just not even need to recite even this word, just remembering Buddha, remembering Dharma, remembering Sangha, and reflecting on the meaning of their qualities. And all the discussion, those are just those are the few points for you to, relate to many different understandings, about two causes, about why I go for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, etc., etc. So you can do that in your heart, But one thing is that in the counting, Elisa, accomplish 100,000, and also 10,000 more extra. It's like a supplement in case certain mistakes in pronouncing the prayers or visualizations, or if there's any limitation, then to cover. So 110,000. So in the note, there are many different prayers are recommended. Some individuals, they may already have initiations. They may have a connection with certain deity like Tara, Medicine Buddha. Maybe some individual, they may also have Dharma protectors. Some may have a connection with certain Dhaka Dakinis, Dharma protectors. Then and also some may already have guru. So the guru, as I already mentioned, embodiment of the Buddha. So since it's embodiment of Buddha, you also go for refuge in the guru. So go for refuge in guru, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, deity, Dhaka Dakinis, and Dharma protectors. So in the north, there's prayers is recommended. So you can also get from my blog, tenzinzopa.com. There's a refuge, Ngondro refuge. So there's you can just read. And minimum, I go for refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, verbally or mentally. Then those longer prayers, you can sometimes do them. When you do the longer prayer, then the short one not even need to do. So you can. They're so flexible. It's as long as you remember Buddha, Dharma, Sangha once a day, you are still in the retreat. So like that.
If next year we
Finish, wonderful. If didn't finish, then it's all right. It is something. It's a rest of life to practice. So if you finish, then good. If you didn't finish, then good.
if next year we continue the Raja Cycle and then do two
Of course. Actually, it's like gradually build up. Even after finish all the retreat, all of this practice is actually to carry on. So and those serious practitioners are very much like build on top of each level, and that's why how to say advance your practice. Then once you practice daily yoga, when you practice the sadhana, there's an element of refuge already there. There's a Vajrasattva practice already there, and there's a mandala practice is always there, and guru yoga is always there. So in one sadhana, let's say when you practice Vajrayogini or Yamentaka or Guya Samaja Heroka, all the earlier preliminaries are always part of the sadhana. But until then you just add up. But that doesn't kind of occupy more of your time. It's very much becoming more and more complete practice. Like that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, these are like if you want to add more, like this one, like 6 kind of Ngondro, 12 kind of Ngondros, But base 4 major means like must. These 4 Ngondros are kind of must. That's why planting seed, clearing obstacle, accumulating merit, and the Guru Yoga. So actually, it's complete there. But then rest individual other Ngondro practice like prostrations, waterfall offering, satsa, making Vajradhaka fire puja, all this also can add, and people can do in between or whatever like that. So this is what the great masters in the past, they have conducted their life like that. So as a follower, at least we try to imitate, follow their legacy. Whether we really achieve kind of enlightenment or not, realization or not, but we at least kind of conduct our journey of life in accordance with the lineage of the past master. So at the end of the day, there's some kind of achievement, great source of satisfaction, confidence will develop, and on top of those benefit of the imprint we are talking about, during difficult time, this imprint will be so powerful to help us, benefit us like that. So yeah, so then for the commitment, taking refuge in Buddha, then Buddha from that onward, you regard Buddha as your main teacher, main guide. That doesn't mean that you cannot respect to other beings. You cannot respect to the more you respect to Buddha, even you're a believer of God, you respect even more to the gods. You value even greater to not only gods, even the ordinary human beings. You try to see everybody in the Buddha's quality. That is the practice. Taking refuge in Buddha is very much make your mind even purer, adorned with a more pure view. You see, so even in relation to the conventional objects that represent, Buddha, like statues and paintings, even it's a defect statue, so you try to see the entirety of the actual Buddha in there and try to show respect. Even there's a painting that which is, very, very, the artist is completely disaster. But at the practice of refuge in the Buddha, then you see complete Buddha in there, not defining by the art, because now you don't see anymore as an object. You try to see everything. You try to exercise your mind to behave like how Buddha would see. Buddha see everybody. Everybody's pure. Everything is pure, isn't it? So these are the opportunity after taking refuge. So these are the opportunity to practice. And whenever you see Buddha, you try to kind of show respect, like through prostrations. So these are opportunity for us to get closer to resultant Buddha within ourselves. It's not a punishment. Uh, not adding more job, all opportunity. You see, then then taking refuge in Buddha, then we don't take refuge for your spiritual benefit. We don't take refuge in all those others mentioned, like such as spirits and nagas, worldly gods, you know, ordinary human being, for for spiritual benefit, for liberation, for enlightenment, for spiritual realization. Then we don't take refuge in those, because they themselves not completed the path. So by relying on them for your spiritual refuge, they won't able to bring you to the up to the ultimate goal. So that's why you need to take Buddha as your ultimate guru, ultimate refuge, like that. Taking refuge in the Dharma, then uh, mm, from now on, the main wisdom that you use for your spiritual benefit, no question. Even in our ordinary, in the ordinary life, you know, because Dharma has a solution to give us better idea, making better decisions, in any field, even in the ordinary, making decisions, etc., etc. And no question about in spiritual practice, we don't use our ordinary worldly kind of mindset to define any spiritual things. Otherwise, it becomes contaminated. So those are the precepts. Then, by taking refuge in the sangha, then even conventional, sangha, which like monks and nuns, as a person, they may be ordinary. Maybe they may be more ordinary than many other ordinaries. They may be, you know, yeah, just very beginner as a training. But because of they receive the vow and they are trying their very best to uphold that vow, then we take opportunity to show respect. And again, this is an opportunity for us to accumulate merits, whether someone is a Buddha or not. By seeing them as Buddha, you benefit. Whether someone is a real Sangha or not, by seeing them as a Sangha refuge, we benefits. For our own spiritual benefits there. So those are the things, So in short, taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then if you can benefit sentient beings' well-being, do so. If not, then at least always be mindful to refrain from causing harm to sentient beings. So all the precepts will conclude in this much. Okay, so I think we better put it here because I think I already taken too much of your time. Okay, so now here, just do the refuge ceremony. It's a very simple ceremony, but very profound meaning. The motivation for taking refuge would be like this. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. So this is the Mayanic refuge. Meaning there's an element of bodhicitta also. So inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. So this is very much the motivation. Then for the ceremony, you need to repeat this. There's a prayer you need to repeat either in Sanskrit language or up to now the lineage is done in the Tibetan language. So, but the meaning of the repetition I read here, it says, "Preceptor, please pay attention to me. I, whose name," then there you need to say your name, "from this time on and for the rest of my life, I go for refuge to the Buddha, the supreme among humans. I go for refuge to the Dharma, the supreme among those free of attachment. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the supreme among the assemblies." So this is the meaning. So during taking refuge, individual also can take opportunity to can take lay vows if you like to take, such as no killing, vow of no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no lying, no intoxications. Not necessarily you have to take it. Not necessarily you have to take all of them. So whatever the thing that you feel like taking, there's a great benefit. Like such as like you take the vow of no killing. It helps to protect our health, purify the karmas that which causing our health, such kind of benefit in example, such kind of benefits, uh, and as I mentioned before, all of us already practicing it. The only thing is you didn't take the precept only. You already you will never intentionally kill human being. You will never kill even intentionally even an insect. you know you never did that before, and you will never do that. So now the moment you take as a precept, then the the the, the meritorious karma that you're going to earn is like another level, like that. So anyway, uh, we can conduct this vow separately also. So here now, when I offer the refuge vow, then those of you who ever want to take any of the vows, then you just think in your mind. But the meaning of that lay vow is, I would like to read for you. Master, please pay attention to me. Just as the Aryas and the Arhat give up killing, stealing, sexual misconduct motivated by desire, lying, alcohol, and whatever is classified as intoxicant, so do I, from this time on and for the rest of my life, turn away from giving up killing, stealing, sexual misconduct motivated by desire, lying, alcohol, and whatever is classified as an intoxicant. So these are the meaning. Okay. So now uh, for the ceremony, so you don't have to stand up. So usually do prostration. You don't have to do that. So you just do the mudra. So three prostration, simply simply understand the absolute presence of the Shakyamuni Buddha and all the Buddhas of the three times. So you are taking refuge from Buddha. You're going refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So here the master is someone who uphold the precept purely in order to offer that transmission, and as just a preceptor. So three prostration. First on the crown, then forehead, and the throat, and the heart. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, namo su shiri, namo u dharma shiri ye so. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, namo su shiri, namo u dharma shiri ye so. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, namo su shiri, namo u dharma shiri ye so ha. Then for the purpose of the transmission to be received from the preceptor, also do three prostration. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, nama so shiri, nama uye dharma shiri ye so. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, nama so shiri, nama uye dharma shiri ye so. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, nama so shiri, nama uye dharma shiri ye so. And usually this repetition done when you kneel up you kneel down. But those of you, no need to worry. Just sit where you are. But if you like to kneel down, if you want, can. Right knee on the floor, left knee up, and put your palm together like that, prostration palm. Then repeat after me. Okay. Yeah. Zumba, Gong Su Sel, Da Minde, your name, She Jiwa, Tu Dine, Sungde, Chisi, Soy Badu, Gangi Namji, Cho, Sanjela, Japsu Chewo, Dachadang, Jawa Namji, Cho, Chola, Japsu Chewo, Chok Namji, Cho, Kindunla, Japsu Chewo, Da, Chisi, Soy Badu, Jamre, Kenyindu, Zunbe, Sungdu Sel, second repetition, Zunba Gongsu Sel, Da Minde, your name, She Jiwa, Tu Dine, Sungde, Chisi, Soy Badu, Ganyi, Namji, Cho, Sanjela, Japsu Chewo, Dachadang, Jawa Namji, Cho, Chola, Japsu Chewo, So Namji, Cho, Kindunla, Japsu Chewo, Da, Chisi, Soy Badu, Jamde, Kenyedu, Zunbe, Sungdu Se, third repetition, Zunba Gongsu Se, Da, your name, She Jiwe, Tu Dine, Sungde, Chisi, Soy Badu, Ganyi Namji, Cho, Sanjela, Japsu Chewo, Dochadang, Jawa Namji, Cho, Chola, Japsu, Chewo, So Namji, Cho, Gindunla, Japsu Chewo, Da, Sisi, Soy Badu, Jamde, Kenyedu, Zunbe, Sungdu Se. So then I will do snapping like this. I will say tab, you have to say loudly lexo. So very much that time that you understand that the refuge precept or refuge vow transmission is already received in your spiritual continuum. So very much like saying, yes, I received it. Yes, I got it. So say lexo. Tab, lexo. Okay. So then now do 3 prostration. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, nama su shiri ye, nama u dharma shiri ye so. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, nama su shiri, nama u dharma shiri ye so. Omo namo menzo shiri ye, nama su shiri, nama u dharma shiri ye so. Okay, please be seated. So that completes the refuge ceremony. Then now do dedication. So it emphasizes that whenever any precept like spiritual precept is pure without any transgression. So this moment is no transgression, pure, freshly there. Then whatever wishes you make, whatever prayers you make, aspirations you make, it become numberless times greater force than usual time we make wishes, we make aspirations and prayers. So here, while I do some of the dedication prayers, then you try to dedicate. Of course, I will do one dedication which that you can think similar way in English. Then when I start to do in Tibetan those of the auspicious dedication prayers, then that time you dedicate specifically, make wishes even for your good health, your long life, whatever wishes that you have in your life. So you dedicate like this. Whatever merit that we accumulate through these 2 days of Dharma discourse, whatever merit in particularly, received through actualizing refuge vow, becoming, family members of the Buddha Dharma Sangha, uh, Buddha becoming your main guru, main guide, Dharma becoming your main wisdom, Sangha becoming your main community. Unbelievable merits. Then all the merit that you have accumulated in the past. Without doubt, putting our life in this position, definitely our past lifetime have worked so hard, did so many good things. Yourself is a proof of that. So, and in the future times, including of that you committed to take on to completing this Ngondro retreat, preliminary retreat, just like the past great realized masters did. So you're starting from now, Refuge Ngondro 100,000 retreat, in the coming days or throughout the year. So much merit will accumulate, and all the merits that you accumulate from other, conducts of body, speech, and mind. All the merits and virtue accumulated by the three-time Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Gurus, and sentient beings. May this quality merit become the cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric suffering. It is caused of karma and delusion, actualized from temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness, enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit become the cause, whatever inconvenience that world is experiencing, such as like war, natural disaster, different form of diseases, uh, whether it's a global level, individual level, any inconvenience there may be there to anybody, health inconvenience, relationship inconvenience, wealth inconvenience, or whatever, mental, physically. Purify them without delay, even a moment, by the power of this collective merit accordingly. And may the world be a peaceful place to live. May each and every single being enjoy only peace and happiness and virtue and enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit become the cause. Anyone who pass away, in particularly those who pass away in a war zone, those who pass away in natural disaster, those who pass away in accident, those who pass away untimely death, even those pass away natural death, but they pass away with so much pain. May each and every one of them purify suffering of death, suffering of intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, and actualize higher rebirth in Buddha's pure realm. And within that lifetime, they actualize state of full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. Anyone who requested prayers from our monasteries, nunneries, Dharma centers, who requested from our sanghas, who requested prayers from our gurus, who have requested prayers from me, to whom I promise to pray, even those who didn't request prayers but who need prayers and meritorious support. May this collective merit be complete cause to fulfill each and every one of their prayers, wishes, aspirations accordingly, and may they enjoy only peace and happiness and enlightenment and success and have long life and good health accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause all those good people in this world, like those who are the source of peace and happiness of the world, or even that one individual who is a source of virtue, source of protection, source of guide, source of companion, to that one individual, like such as that wonderful husband to the wife, wonderful wife to the husband, wonderful parent to the children, wonderful children to the parents, wonderful brothers and sisters, and even that individual who is the source of care and protection to that pet, like dogs and cats, whatever pets they may be. Mm. Then yourself, your family members, like then His Holiness the Dalai Lama, all the gurus, all those those people who are working for the peace and happiness of uh, anybody and the world, always enjoy good health, a long life, and fulfill all the aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. Most precious Guru Chancellor Lama Subramanian, all his holy wishes be fulfilled. May the world have the meritorious conditions to actualize its unmistakable reincarnation, and may the reincarnations to carry on the enlightened legacies of Rinpoche for the benefit of Dharma, for the benefit of sentient being, if not more than him, but just like him, how Rinpoche conducted him in his life accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the virtuous institutions like monasteries, nunneries, all the Dharma centers, especially the Potova Center in Wagga Wagga, free from inner outer civil obstacles, actualize all the conducive conditions for the preservation of Dharma in extensive learning and actualizing realization on the stages of the path, and compassion in action, benefiting those suffering, the needy ones, and all the aspirations of the members, students, and friends, and all the aspirations of the committee, the directors, SPCs, everybody fulfilled accordingly as they aspire. May this collective matter be complete cause. May each and every one of us, have the courage, have the military resources, have the wisdom, have the diligence to able to live a life in the most meaningful way, just like those of the Bodhisattvas, in the benefit of numberless sentient beings' happiness. May days be auspicious, may night be auspicious, may every single moment be auspicious. Oh yeah, so now you do some specific dedications for yourself, your family members, whatever you need to do while I recite this prayer, okay? Dagi jinye sabe jewa de tendang do wagun la gambe da kebra jizun lo san taba yi tembe nyingbo rendo sa shi sho sa shi pe je jo shin men do tamare da be shi yin de kemba sanje shin do mi de be wa ye do go nam da shin la che barai sho chang ju sem jo rin bo je ma je pa nam je jewa nyamba me ba yang gong ne gong do pe wa rai sho tong ye da wa rin bo je ma je pa nam je ju je jewa nyamba me ba Kone gondo pewa shori nye tawa rinpo je ma je panam je ju je jawa nye ba me pa ya kone gondo pewa sho kame rabe kowe shingam de pendang de wa ma le chungwe chere se wa ya zo ye sha be se de ba do den ju ro je tong ni ni je sung do ju be la se je se je kan je den de chana be mo den zen ja zo la so wa de so shin de do sho je wa gondo yang da la ma ba ta ne che je pa la ma je 사달람 지연대 랍존에도 제창제 고마뉴도 쇼 추천람에 고제랍데 나와 텔레 추주게 바다 노산 템베 좀 사슴 도웨 모제 다도 제주로 제 파마심제 담제 된단데 요정에도 담제 다도 동왕다 전주 선바가는 수쇼바데다 kunye 모람도 제 심제네 바지니 바녀도 내려다 도웨네네 말려바 다도 중마메 바쇼 점베 바베제다 젬바다 공도 상보데 양데 신제데다 kunye 제 소타로 지켜와데다 담제랍도 모두 손체베 자와 담제데 모와가나 추토마바 다신제베 자와데 군제 상보 추제랍도 모와라이지 배다도와미 그베 이제노 바바선제 심제라고 상바 최신되베 다지 좀데데 제바다 좀야한다 바조스네 남았는데 어디 잡아다 차도 최스마스마 좀 고로 상마 차 다야 동베데 어부드네 좀 들어들어 자면 저 다야 동베데 어부드네 좀 들어들어 자면 저 다야 동베데 어부드네 좀 들어들어 자면 좀데데 제바다 좀야한다 바조스네 녀메냐라비도 여베 제바라 차 세로 좀데데 제바다 좀야한다 바조스네 모와다 몰라다라도 되베 제바라 차 세로 멘조세 제게 제라 텐데 로함베 베테 다제 라산다베도 남다메베 네군 드롭주로 이몬델레 천델레 니멘 고양델레 신자다도델레 군조 somje 다시 쇼 Okay, so thank you very, very much for all of you, your effort, your patience to be with me for quite a number of hours. And thank you very much for Per Chu and the family taking care of the center. And I mean, so amazing, always open arm, or house is open for all the anybody who like to be in the center, who like to come here. They're amazing family, treat everybody it's like it's family. And I think you will know better than me. So amazing. And so that's not easy, for anybody, unless you have such a big heart. So it's just amazing. So and also, yeah, organizing my visit here, it's been very meaningful to spend time with you all, with the Dharma. So thank you so much. And like Dawn and the rest of the others that who put so much effort to the center to carry on and preserve and most importantly Dharma practice. And I think your being as a person in this value itself is the teaching, itself is the guru, itself is the Buddha Bodhisattvas that you are sharing with the community. So really, you, as I mentioned on the before, the overall the community is small, but then each and every one of you, how far you are staying, how busy you are, and you try to preserve the energy by coming together, supporting our sister here. Very important sister for everybody, and so each and every one of you contribute. Like our brother here in the wheelchair, and never missed. Not easy, and our sister who's helping, and sister here, brother here, sister here, and all the delicious food, delicious chai. Even though I didn't drink the chai, but I can smell it. But I know I drink that before, etc. All the delicious foods, amazing. So really, so each and every one of you, thank you very much for everything, and be happy in the dharma, in the virtue, in your compassion. I think whatever here and there challenges, like all of us, day by day, aging, sometimes little sickness here and there. This is nature of samsaric life. Uh, so we have to pay attention and need to take care of them fully, but not just like completely overwhelmed by that. There are many other important things that we can still enjoy by living in the present moment, in the present time. So like that. So thank you, and thank you very much those who came online, especially Venerable Ani Kunsamba, who voluntarily helped to translate for uh, those of the individuals that who who don't um, can communicate in English. Those who are listening from other language background like Spanish, etc. Kind of uh, volunteering and helping like that way. Then for each and every one of you online, morning, it's extra effort to come, both people here as well as online, to come for the class. It's extra effort. So I appreciate for each and every one of your contribution to the Dharma, contribution in the service of sentient being, and naturally, you all made my time very meaningful, because you keep me talking Dharma, blah 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 blah. So I accumulate so much merit. The moment I open my mouth, create so much merit from speech, and before talk, I need to think. So let me create so much merit from the mind. Then let me kind of like at least pretend to be very nice, very composed, like a teacher. You put me into this position. So also let my physically also let me create so much merit. So I thank you, liberating me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, and yeah.
What we do as a group, both here and those who connect to Zopa in the past, present, future,
Yeah, sure.
and also those who join us online. Our gratitude is we nearly missed this time, but we really grateful that you managed to make it, and thank you for the great compassion, the great patience, and you endure all those challenges.
No, that's not at all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, there's some little present. It's a blessing strings. This one is easy. You can tie on your wrist. It's 5 color. Okay, it's okay. You can pass on. And they want to take their family at home also can. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Everyone, take care.
Thank you, Geshe.
Venerable Anila, Adi. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Padua.
So can pair? Just can do that?
Yeah, you can. Put it on.
Yeah.
I'll leave. I'll move.
Thank you,
so much
everyone.
for everything.
Thank
This one,
thank
you. Lama mantra recite. This is for good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, very well indeed.
No, any concern.
You okay?
No. Where is my camera? My camera cannot turn.
Oh, this is facing you. When you walk this side off.
Come out and you try.